These targeted farmers had either already lost a portion of their land to previous land acquisition or knew firsthand those who did, friends, relatives, and neighbors, bankrupted by the loss of their land. 1 acre of land have capacity to provide a job of 10 agricultural workers. In the struggle period of more than 3.5 years, these protesters were subjected to detention, lathi charge, illegal prevention of their movement, and prohibition orders and false cases of various forms.
Hello and welcome to Left Lens. On July 15th, farmers of the 30 villages of Channarayapatna Hobli in Devanahalli Taluk of Bangalore's rural district secured a historic victory against the forced land acquisition that was being carried out in the area. The struggle began in 2022 on the 4th of April, and it was after 1,198 days that the government of Karnataka agreed to drop the forced acquisition of 1,777 acres of farmlands. Today, we have Comrade T. Yashavantha with us, who has been part of this anti-land acquisition struggle through the Chandrayapatna Anti-Land Acquisition Struggle Committee and the Samyukta Porata Karnataka. He is the secretary of the Karnataka Pranth Raith Sangh and is a state committee member of the CPI in Karnataka. Comrade Yashavantha, we're glad to have you with us. Thank you for joining us today.
Namaskara.
Namaskara. So, Comrade, can you start by telling us a little bit about how this land acquisition project came into being? What was the government saying was the reason for acquiring this land? What were they going to do with this land? When did this whole scheme come up?
Yes, this land about 1,777 acres belongs to about 800 families. Mostly belongs to backward community and scheduled caste communities, and socially economically belongs to marginal category of land holding. Spread over 13 villages in a periphery of 5 kilometers. This land acquisition was taking place under KIADB, Karnataka Industrial Area Development Board Act 1966, by the then BJP-led government in 2021. And a notice of preliminary notification was given to farmer in January 2022. In the notification, they were not mentioned the reason of the acquisition, except this is required to establish industrial area. No specific industries was mentioned. This land acquisition process in the area, fourth one in the series since from 2014. This land are situated just around the Bengaluru International Airport. Earlier in the name of Aerospace and Defence Park and SEZ, they have acquired about 6,000 acres in 3 stages as phase 1, phase 2, and SEZ. Even after decades of establishing industrial area, no such industries came. They allotted to Chanakya University, which the people told that it is very close to Amit Shah ownership, and Brigade Realities companies, reality company, Brigade, and some small industries like Exide Battery and Nano Ipco is there. Most of the land are still vacant and offered to use godown purposes. These are very fertile land. This land was acquired for the real estate purposes under the cover of industrial area development.
So, Comrade, why were the farmers in the area opposed to this land acquisition? Because especially already farmers in the area, nearby areas, their land have been acquired. Then why is it that these specific 800 odd families, this 1,700 odd acres, why was the opposition to this?
These targeted farmers had either already lost a portion of their land to previous land acquisition or knew firsthand those who did, friends, relatives, and neighbors, bankrupted by the loss of their land with no source of livelihood. They are now leading destitute life. This forced them to protest. Their bitter experience and real estate intention of the government had opened their eyes to raise their voice against this land acquisition.
But see, comrade, we're talking of farmers. They have land. Their land is being acquired. But what about the rural poor who do not have land? How are they being affected by this land acquisition project?
Yes, the agricultural laborers, because this area of agriculture under cultivation is very labor intensive. These are all horticulture, floriculture, and vegetables, though labor intensive. And even 1 acre of land have capacity to provide a job of 10 agricultural workers.
Okay.
On the most of the days, they were, because of plucking the crop is the main activities, and also standing the crop. So the horticulture and floriculture as labor intensive,
Yes.
and sericulture also labor intensive. So even the whatever the affected farmers are there, much more the farm laborers are affected.
So how did you go about this process of organizing these farmers? I suppose that even these rural workers, agricultural workers who were landless, they were also part of this protest, I'm assuming, because this affects them also. How did you go about organizing all these people? When did this start? You said that the land acquisition was notified in 2021. And when did the
Yes.
protests as such start? When did this movement emerge? And what were the kind of campaigns that you undertook as part of it?
Because of their own experience, soon after the notices received, they take themselves in, they tag themselves in tea shops, they tag themselves in village circles and wherever they meet. And then they met local leaders, all parties and people representative of this area, to request them to halt the land acquisition process. But they were not stand with the affected farmers. Then they met the struggling organization of their area, and KPRS and BRAD, because GC BRAD is well known for them. Some poultry farmers, some dairy farmers, some silk farmers have known to BRAD, because earlier they participated in the protest organized by the KPRS. Then it take form of resistance by organizing them under the struggle committee against anti-land acquisition. The main members of this anti-struggle committee were visited every villages and conduct village level meetings of affected farmers and explain their past experience with the active help of Comrade Chandra Tejasvi, district president of Bengaluru rural KPRS, and later then joined with the Comrade Prabha Belavangala, the women activist and the state joint secretary of KPRS. First, they did the major protest action on the 15th August 2022, when it was in the BJP ruled period, to draw the attention of the district in charge minister, where the in charge minister flag hoist program was there. But the police of the then BJP government were unleashed brutal atrocities by lathi charge and arresting the protesters in the 14th midnight, just before the protest action was planned. They arrested Comrade GC Bayyareddy, then state president of Karnataka Pranth Raith Sangh, and Comrade K. Mahantesh, CITU state secretary. In that lathi charge, one young farmer named Pramod of Polanelli village lost their vision. After second surgery, he able to get partial vision. They started in front of their revenue sub office, the village circle named Chennaraya Pattana. That means Nada Kacheri. Day and night indefinite dharana on 4th April 2022. In between this dharana, the special occasions arises like the assembly session is going on, and the importance day when ministers are visiting the Devanahalli taluk. Whenever they organize the various types of campaign and protest conducted, like Padayatra within the Devanahalli area, and protest dharana at Bengaluru, and protest meeting at Devanahalli, etc.
But Comrade, you mentioned right now organizations like CITU. So clearly, this was a movement in which not just farmers or agricultural workers, but trade unions. You mentioned women leaders, so women's organizations, cultural activists. A lot of people have come together. A lot of organizations have come together. How were you able to bring out this vast coalition, and how did it impact the struggle as such?
Because the farmers are well known for the different organization. Some farmers have known for KPRS, some farmers are known to other Karnataka Rajya Raith Sangh, like Chukki Nanjun Swami group. Some farmers have got acquainted with the DSS groups. Already they were there for their earlier protest actions. So it was not the separate exercise, but the forming of the anti-struggle committee have all the elements in that committee. For example, the Karali Srinivas, one of its convener of the Devanahalli anti-struggle committee against anti-accusation, is the vice president of Dalit Sangharsha Samiti led by Mavali Shankar.
So, which all organizations were there as part of this Horata?
Yes, the struggle was not just by farmers, but trade unionist, Dalit organization, women organization, artist, cultural organization, etc. All the mass and class organization of all left parties, all the mass and class organization of all the left parties of Karnataka, and other independent progressive organization, including all the fraction of Karnataka Rajya Raith Sangh, KRRS, led by Badagalapura Nagendra, HR Basurajappa, Chukki Nanjun Swami, and all the prominent Dalit organization were actively involved. Sri Mavali Shankar led DSS have some influence among the villages of these affected area. One of its convener, I already told that the Karali Srinivas is the vice president of that organization. And some individuals have acquainted with Chukki Nanjun Swami, led KRRS, and she was also very part of the struggle committee since from early days. After demise of Comrade G.C. Bayyareddy, Samyukta Horata Karnataka took the responsibility to lead this movement to fill the vacancy of leadership by the initiative of CITU, which is very important part of the Samyukta Horata Karnataka. Samyukta Horata Karnataka is the broad-based forum, not just of farmers, and also trade unions, the various trade unions, and various Dalit organization, various women organization, various student and youth organization. It consists of more than 40 mass and class organization. G.C. Bayyareddy was instrumental to form the Samyukta Horata Karnataka. Thus, this attract all these organization of various sections.
You mentioned that, one of the farmers, a young farmer, Pramod, if I'm not mistaken his name, who lost his sight because of the police atrocities. It has been widely reported, the fact that against this struggle, police had unleashed a series of, violent measures. In fact, even trying to threaten people from backing out of this struggle. Why do you think that, despite all this, for almost 3.5 years, this struggle went on? Why did the farmers not back down?
In the struggle period of more than 3.5 years, these protesters were subjected to detention, lathi charge, illegal prevention of their movement, and prohibition orders, and false cases of various farms. In one such attacks, I already narrated the youth farmer who lost their vision, and also tens of women and young farmers were brutally beaten up. Despite of all this, the people stood united and firm because of the strong and active support of the left organization. They extend their support through their advocates forum, CITU-led trade unions. CITU-led trade unions support is very crucial as their presence in this area, in this district is good enough. These are all the responsible to remain firm and firm to their struggle to achieve.
You mentioned that this whole effort at land acquisition was taken up by or introduced by the BJP government. At that time, the Congress was in opposition. And in the run-up to the 2023 assembly elections in Karnataka, Congress, in fact, promised that if they come to power, if they're voted to office, they will stop this acquisition process. But they came to power, and it has been reported that they, in fact, issued the final notification for the acquisition, that they went back on their promise. Why do you think so?
The present CM Sri Siddaramaiah, then opposition party leader, have visited one such big protest dharana at Freedom Park, Bengaluru. And in his speech, he said this BJP government land acquisition on fertile land is totally unjust and unfair. If he come to power, he assured with the huge applause of the protesters that would cancel this anti-farmer land acquisition and take action to protect the farmers. Sri K.H. Muniyappa, sitting MLA of Devanahalli and district in charge minister and also food and civil minister, civil supplies minister, has actively campaigned in the election that among these affected farmers, that he stood firmly with the farmers if he got elected and do all the necessary to cancel this notification. But this did not happen. I already said that this land acquisition using KIADB is not for the industrial establishment or genuine reason, but for the real estate purposes. The prominent Congress leaders and other individuals have their own profitable interest behind this notification. With this land acquisition, they prevented them, the government ministers and them, by actively colliding with the industrial minister and in charge minister, who's under the industrial minister, who's under KDB comes. This interest and people's interest is not matched. So that is why the Congress took U-turn.
But ultimately, after 3.5 years, they had to, withdraw the notification, and the farmers' struggle emerged victorious. Why do you think they had to ultimately give in to the demands?
The victory of the farmers lies in the iron-like unity among the affected farmers. And role of the CPIM and other left parties and Samyukta Horata Karnataka is crucial, as the demands of the struggle committee of anti-land acquisition has got the state and national attention with the participation of writers, artists, and literary persons, and including different field icon like Justice V. Gopal Gowda, Dr. Prakash Kammaredi, the ex-chairman of Agri Price Commission of Karnataka, and Prakash Rai, the noted cine actor. The participation have gather further speed for this goal, achieving this goal.
So now that the struggle there is victorious, what do you think is going to be the political impact of it? And how do you think this model, this alternative of a people's struggle that is emerging victorious, how do you propose to take this success forward in the future?
The immediate attention is to get a denotification order of the CM announcement that made on 15th July 2025. Due to this notification, the land acquisition notification, many farmers was denied NOC, no objection certificate, for obtaining electricity for their borewell, and taking the different type of facility of the agriculture and horticulture department. This area is well known for Bengaluru blue variety of grapes. This area, the Bengaluru blue is only cultivated in the whole world, this area only.
Okay.
The Bengaluru blue, that variety of grapes, and the mangoes, and dairy, they well known for dairy activities, and vegetables and poultry activities. Now these are all now affected by the Indo-US trade. We have to mobilize them to resist. This is the one such challenge. And being close to Bengaluru, the responsibility lies with the movement to promote the cooperative agricultural marketing and work towards getting better prices. This also very challenge before us.
With that, we will wrap this week's episode of Lens. Comrade Yashavantha, thank you for joining us and for this illuminating discussion. All the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay.